a different thing I'm using. Anyway, it's all right. It's all right. Let me just flick this camera here. If you're listening, there you go. Is yourself, everybody? Is yourself? You're not yourself. Okay, you can see. Good morning.
Said I'm born. This is like no
The
open tune.
reason why
To
I didn't play, the
win.
reason why I didn't play because it's a
Said I'm
copyright.
born
Born to
to
win.
win. Right, that part we know. That we know.
Good morning, my brother.
Present, please.
He's in studio. Present, please, and much more.
Good morning, comrades. Good morning, wherever you are. Wherever you are, at home or abroad, good day to you. If you're in a different time zone, that's probably afternoon. Listen, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing well. It's always a pleasure to be here in the studio of Star Radio. It's been a while since I've been here. The last time I was here was, of course, before election. So yeah, bring a look back on the live, right? Yeah. So pleasure to be here. Since the elections, I've not been here since the 27th of November. But I've been in tune, and as many of you comrades know, I've been doing my own little thing. And a lot of you have been giving me really, really fantastic support. And I want to appreciate that. I want to thank you for that, and ask that you continue to support the efforts. All the efforts have the same goal, whether I'm here on Star Radio or I am on a plate with Sehon Marshall, I'm doing Present Please, all with the same goal, the goal of making sure that, one, we hold the government to account, two, we raise the issues that are relevant for us a smooth functioning society, and finally, the ensuring that the ULP as a party is able to return to government here in our country so that we can have a country that is run effectively and efficiently in the manner that we are used to. You see, the thing about St. Vincent and the Grenadines is that we have become accustomed to good governance, and in many cases, excellent governance, which makes what we're experiencing now a little difficult to stomach, because we have had better, we know better, and so we are demanding better. Remember, if you live at home and your spouse could cook and your custom eat proper food, Sunday time you get slush, your baked chicken and your pie and your salad and so forth, and you eat and then you roll over. Good food. To be difficult for you to go into Kingstown and all of a sudden accepting food that ain't as palatable because you keep comparing to what you're accustomed to. You're saying, but no, I custom eat good food. I custom eat good food. Vincentians living here and those overseas who paid attention to what has been going on in our country for the last how many years are accustomed to good governance. We are accustomed to having our country run a particular way. We are accustomed to strong leadership. We are accustomed to being a leading voice in the region. We are accustomed to being a leading voice internationally. We are accustomed to strength of leadership. We are accustomed to positions that are clearly thought out and articulated. That is what we are used to.
True.
So it's difficult for us to stomach what is happening now. We have to keep agitating. We have to keep being there, bringing the issues to the fore. We have to keep them to the fore. And let this government know that unlike when the ULP was in government and they were in opposition, and they tried every maneuver in the book to try and see that they use propaganda. Well, they use misinformation. Let me not use the word propaganda. They use misinformation, disinformation, just flat out lies. And that is why the current government is having such a difficult time in office, because a lot of their lies are coming back to haunt them. A lot of their lies, comrades, are coming back to haunt them. You see, for example, the card that they gave. We can't stop talking about the cards, because keep in mind, and I heard Camilo raising that point here, at the top of the card, they said, keep this, so you could make sure that we keep our promise. It's written on the card. So they didn't just talk it and allow you to forget it. They entered into a contract with you. And they gave you a card, and on the top of the card, they told you to keep this card so that you can remind them of the promises they made to you. And all of a sudden, they are angry. They are upset when you use the same card and hold their feet to the fire. And that is their problem. That right there is their problem.
Big problem.
They told the lies.
Big problem.
They spread misinformation and disinformation. They created certain impressions about practices and processes and so forth under the ULP administration. And then now they are in government. And people are realizing that, look, listen, you were lying to us. You lied to us to get into office. And the beauty about the mutiny is that the mutiny has started on their own ship by members of their own team, by their own supporters who are saying, nah. I'll tell you something, like I said in my first few sentences, we are not very patient because we are accustomed to good governance. We are accustomed to things being done properly. And so we're not going to be patient with a government making all these unforced errors and telling me, give them time. Because we know time is of the essence. For those of you who are following what is happening overseas, what's happening in the Gulf, we know what the repercussions can be.
Yep.
You know why we know that? We know that because we've had external shocks before, and we've seen the repercussions. And our government, which was the ULP administration, took the time to explain to us what those repercussions would be and also how they're addressing them. So we know we could look forward and predict what the repercussions would be of what is happening in the Gulf. We could talk increased prices at the pump for petrol, increased price for gasoline, increased price for dieseline, increased price for kerosene oil, increased for your cooking gas, your LPG. Land, y'all think LPG ain't gonna go up too? It's just gas for vehicle. And once the price for diesel and gas and so forth go up, that means your light bill going up. Those of us who are paying attention over the last 25 years, once we saw the rumblings in the Gulf, we knew what lay ahead because we've seen the movie before and our leaders told us what would happen.
All right.
You know who seem to be surprised and caught off guard? Those who believe the lies. Those who believe that Ralph was causing a cost of living crisis.
Yeah.
So now, the government is scrambling to explain to them, well, no, with what happening there, we are likely to see. You not have to explain that to me?
We've been there before.
We've been there before. Hans,
Tell us how you're going to
I've been there before. And I did this before. Deja vu.
Tell us
We've
how
been
you're
there.
going to ease the impact.
That's the point. So you criticize Labour for the quote-unquote cost of living crisis. Well, listen now. When things start to inch up and inch up and inch up, when things start to inch up and inch up, tell her how you are going to deal with it. Because remember, here's the difficulty that the NDP has. Here's the difficulty that the NDP has. It's the same difficulty that the US President Donald Trump has. When you campaign on the platform of affordability, blaming the then government for making things too expensive and criticizing them for not, according to the NDP, alleviating the cost of living crisis, when you get in, you are going to be expected to address them. Because remember, you told people that it was Ralph and Labour's fault. I want to see how you going to wiggle out of the fact that what is happening, what happens as a result of the conflict in the Gulf. I want to see how you go wiggle out of explaining to people that it is your fault. Because even if you ain't cause it, people are going to expect you to address it. Because that's the platform you came in on. That's what you told people. You told them, vote me, and I gonna make it better. I gonna make your goods cheaper. Vote me. That's what the NDP say. And I gonna make your light bills lower. Vote me, and I will paint St. Vincent streets of gold. Well, don't vex with people because they have the expectation. I saw comrades, them celebrating 100 days. And the truth is, there was nothing for them to celebrate because they have not lived up or delivered on any of the promises they made. That's the reality. If I tell my daughter, I buy she a bicycle for Christmas, and then I bring she 2-wheel and a handle, and tell she that at least she get half of the bicycle, be grateful, she going to cry whole Christmas. The NDP did not deliver on anything that it promised you. They're celebrating 100 days. The ridiculousness that jumped out at me the biggest. And I want to hear the comrades in, because I want to talk to some of the comrades now. I open the line for all, don't worry. Because I ain't talked to them for a long time. By the way, I was in Georgetown. The other day I saw Miss Georgetown.
What?
Yes. You say, watch, move around me. Right. But it's my comrade still, and I love her. Kim, morning. Mingoy, morning. And my comrades and them.
Yeah, I will tell Ossie morning too.
Ossie too, but I mean, when
You
we
just
say
say Ming.
Minxie.
Ossie.
Minxie.
No,
Ming
it's
and Ossie. Minxie.
Osming.
Osming.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the biggest piece of ridiculousness that jumped out at me at the 100 days, And you can tell me why I think. They are celebrating no new taxes. That's a celebration. I asked myself, hold on. Things remaining the same is a celebration? Is a cause celebration? Things remaining the same is a cause celebration? Hold on. Last year, I was junior clerk. This year, I'm a junior clerk. Let me celebrate. No promotion. Look, keep in mind.
Am I supposed to be a reduction in taxes?
Keep in mind. Well, hold on, man. Keep in mind that over the last maybe 3 or 4 years or so, the ULP consistently did two things that increased the spending power of Vincentians. ULP reduced the rate of taxation, while simultaneously, that big word for me at the same time, while simultaneously increasing the threshold, increasing the cutoff point where you would start paying taxes. So that gave people more money in their hand. I want to remind you of two things. When the ULP came into office, the rate of taxation in this country was 40%. That was the highest rate of taxation, both corporate and personal income tax. And the cutoff point was $12,000. We've said this so many times that I think people took it for granted, you know. It meant that if you were making $1,200 a year, you pay taxes. Sorry, $1,200 a month, you pay taxes. 12,000 rather, $1,000 a month. Let me not confuse it. So let me repeat that. It was 12,000 a year, meaning if you made more than $1,000 a month, if you made $1,100, you are paying tax on 100. If you made $1,500 a month, you are paying tax on 500. The first 1,000 was tax free. You pay tax on the other 5. That is what it was when we came to office in 2001. By the time we left office, the tax threshold had increased to $25,000 a year. That meant you were making double what you made in 2001 before you started to pay taxes. So you had to make about $20-something hundred a month before you start paying taxes. So if you're making $2,000, all the money is yours in your pocket. You're not paying no tax. If you're making $2,500, you might pay taxes on about $400-something or $400.
Yeah.
That's what the ULP did over the years. The NDP comes in, says to you, vote us, we will reduce VAT by 3 percentage points. But after 100 days, and that has not been done, they say to you, you know what? But we could celebrate the fact that we ain't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what they said, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't raise tax, we didn't lower tax, we did nothing. So let's celebrate that.
Mm-hmm.
And the most remarkable thing is that people who I thought was sensible shared that. They were sharing that in a celebratory fashion. Let me share and encourage people to celebrate. Nothing. Nothing. No new taxes was a cause for celebration. Not, I reduce your taxes. No new taxes. So next month when Divane raise the van, we celebrate that. At least it ain't God. It's like saying the NDP watch Vincent and say, I look him increase our taxes, at least it ain't gone up. That's what they're telling you. I look him increase the taxes. You're lucky. Because I could carry it up, but I look him not carry it up. That is what they're telling you. How far we've fallen from a place where just last year we were seeing a reduction in taxes, income taxes, and an increase in the tax threshold, in the taxable income increase. And you know something? That wasn't celebrated. The fact that the government reduced your tax rate and increased your taxable the cutoff point, you didn't celebrate that. But now they want to celebrate nothing. I love you know. We took so many things for granted.
So basically, they're celebrating Labor then.
Bling, that's a brilliant point. If you're celebrating the existing tax situation, then you're right, Bling, you're celebrating Labor. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because the tax situation personal income tax, VAT and so forth, licenses, those things are exactly as Labour left them. In the same way now, they said, let's celebrate the reinstatement of teachers. But do you remember the memo? Well, I keep saying teachers. It's our bias because I used to teach. Workers affected by the COVID-19 regulation. Let's celebrate their reinstatement. But the memo said in December that the workers must return to work under the existing, in other words, the same situation, the same policy, the same rules as under Labour that Dr. Gonzalez had been telling you guys as Prime Minister to go back to work under. Let's celebrate that. You're celebrating Labour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not a stretch. That's the reality. Because let me explain to you. Dr. Gonzalez said to them, go back to work. They could have gone back to work. Had they gone back to work then, at least they might have gotten the entire $2,000 bonus. They didn't go back under the ULP. They went back in December under the NDP. They didn't get the bonus. They haven't gotten back pay. So they are actually in a worse situation going back to work under the NDP than they would have been had they gone under Labour. And they want you to celebrate that. Had they gone back how long? Think about it. Every single public worker, teacher, police officer who went back under Labour got the bonus. They got the $2,000. But those of you who waited until after November 27th, get must $100 if so much, some of you get nothing. And there's no talk about your back pay and any of those things. And they're telling you, celebrate that. Celebrate returning to work under a worse condition, under worse conditions than you would have had you gone back to work under the ULP. They want you to celebrate that. I feel sometimes we ain't thinking at all. We ain't thinking. If we sat back a little bit and we thought a little bit, if we sat back a little bit and we thought about things a little bit, we'd respond differently. And I'm pretty sure that had we sat back and thought before voting, many of us would have voted differently. One more thing I want to talk about. I mean, there's so much thing I could talk about. One more thing I want to talk about. So over the weekend, I noticed that there was a fire at the Calico police station. And you know something, comrades? I want you to forgive me, please. Please forgive me for what I'm about to say next. But over the last couple of months, I've actually come to accept. I stopped fighting the concept. I used to fight the concept plenty. But I personally, this is not a Labour thing, this is not a bling thing or whatever, this is me. I've come to accept that stupid people do exist. There are indeed stupid people. And what is most disappointing about me accepting that is that it throws into question some individuals who I once assumed had sense. So you might see somebody, they might be dressed in a particular way and so on, or they went to a particular school, and the assumption made is automatic that that person has sense. But over the last couple of months, that has been thrown completely out of the window because they have proven to me otherwise. So I see some comments on Facebook about the fire and how it's suspicious and how the previous government just gone out the window. I'm gone out of office and thing about down the second fire in thing and so on and whatever. And I'm reading and people are actually engaging in the discussion. People who, as I said, previously I would have given the benefit of the doubt, accepting an assumption that they're smart, they're sensible, they have common sense. That gone out the window. And I have heard all sorts of conspiracy theories.
Yep.
But you know what is not a conspiracy? You know what's not a conspiracy? I'm going to say something to you this morning that is not a conspiracy theory. You want to know what that is? In the history of this country, as far as I am aware, if somebody knows differently, call me. In the history of this country, as far as I'm aware, a police station has been burnt on 2 occasions. 2. If somebody know about another time, tell me. I know police stations have been relocated and so on because but a fire at an active police station has happened on 2 occasions. And on both occasions, the NDP was in office. Let me repeat that. A fire at a police station, as far as I could remember, happened on 2 occasions. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not me trying to. And on both occasions, there was an NDP government.
2 times.
The first time it happened at the central police station, the main one with the fire truck and them day. And the building was burned to the ground. That used to host immigration and so on and so forth. Right there in town next to was where Spratt Brothers building there. That was under NDP government. And now again at Kalekwa, it's in 25 years of Labour government, we did not see a single fire got a police station. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a fact. If you can rebut me, let me know and I'll accept. Once you bring the evidence, I'll accept it. No. Am I suggesting that because police station does just mysteriously burn down on the NDP, that there's hanky-panky? No. But there are people on Facebook, if you go now, trying to create some link between a government that has been out of office since November last year and a fire that happened on the weekend. If you see the gymnastics, the mental gymnastics that they're engaging in, if you hear the dotish nature of, I'm not referring to anybody please, when I say the dotish nature, I don't mean, Lord, let me rephrase that, boy, because I might see my car pull up. What I mean is that if you see the foolish sentiments being expressed on social media about the fire, you would have to ask yourself, hold on, them people have common sense? Them people have common sense? But that's where we are in this country. You see, we still are at a point where when negative things happen, it's apparently residual impact of Ralph and Labour. But when something good happens, it's because of the ingenuity and the proper management of the NDP. You can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. It's really that simple. But that's the state of the country that we're in, and we have to accept it in that people voted for the NDP and they're the ones constitutionally elected to govern. However, I go back where I started. We, members of the ULP, have to be vigilant. So you're not going to call?
8:30. You only go take me 10 minutes.
Okay, all right. We have to be vigilant. We have to be vigilant. And we have to continue to highlight the issues that are out there. to ensure that our government is held to account, and that they understand that we are not going to be patient with them in their mismanagement. When, for example, we see that they are short in addressing issues of a local nature, of a regional nature, something that has to do with or CARICOM allies, something that has to do with Cuba, something that has to do with Venezuela. When we see something that has to do with boats being blown up in our waters, when we see that our government is failing in that regard, we have to call them out. And some people may not like it. I'm seeing that many individuals already don't like it. And very often we talk about individuals who had been doing this for years. When their party was in office, all of a sudden they have a difficulty with their party being criticized. But we have to hold them to account. Listen, you have to keep vigilant. And I believe by now, the comrades who for whatever reason, didn't cement their commitment to labor at the ballot box last November are reflecting on their choice, whether it is that they didn't go out or they went out and voted something else. I believe right now they're reflecting on that. And they must be disappointed in themselves. Many of them. But I say we have time. We have time to recommit ourselves to the movement. Recommit ourselves to the cementing of the goals, the plans that we once collectively held in creating a type of society we want. Remember, we all agreed and joined with the ULP in developing a modern, post-colonial, how you go again? Many-sided. I forget it. I haven't said it in such a long time that it slipped me. But that economy, the modern, post-colonial, many-sided economy, that's what we all decided we want to do. And we work together with the government in achieving that goal. And having gotten to a certain point, we recognized that the next step was to take St. Vincent and Grenadines to first world status. And maybe that concept evaded some. And we didn't understand, even with all of the explanations that were given by our platform speakers and our comrades on radio. Maybe it was too abstract and we couldn't visualize what we were talking about. Or maybe we were already distracted by the noise coming from the other side. And so we lost sight of the vision, we lost sight of the goal. We lost sight of the trajectory that St. Vincent and Grenadines was on. We lost sight. But upon reflection, when we see how far we've fallen, and the Bible says, Lucifer, how art thou fallen? When we see how far St. Vincent has fallen, you can't get a proper answer from anybody. And you know what I noticed? in this time when there's such an absence of leadership, the confusion from within the NDP continues. I remember when the fire broke out at Kittels and the leader of the opposition, Dr. Al Gonzalez, showed up in solidarity. Man, a bunch of them came out on social media. Where you go there for? How you do they? I mean, I want them there. You saw the comments. I want you to get where coming from. I want you to listen and get where coming from. Guess where coming from. The fire occurred at Calico, and you know what I'm hearing? Where Ralph there? Up to now, I not see Ralph like Ralph hide. So at the first fire, there was outrage. We don't want him to we go there far. In our government no more. This, that. At Calico, where you there? How come I don't see him like you hide? Suspicious. And that reminds me of the attitude during the period when we were in government and the Dr. Gonzalez was Prime Minister. When he addresses issues as Prime Minister, oh, he won't want to talk. He only want to talk. Yeah? He not let nobody else talk, and so on and so forth. And when something happens, PM might be out of the state or what have you. Where is the Prime Minister? We are not hearing from the Prime Minister. It's how much days now we hearing from the Prime Minister? And I remember one time I had to call on to NDP 97.1. And I said to them, I just asked in a conversation, I said, look, guys, you can't have it both ways, you know. There really is no pleasing you guys. When he speaks, he's hugging the mic. When you don't hear him, why aren't we hearing him? We need to hear him. Which is it? There's a fire. Someone who has been Prime Minister for 24, almost 25 years, understands the system, knows the professionals, empathizes with the parents and students, shows up in solidarity. There's outrage. You don't want them there. You don't want to see them. Where you go there for? I saw the comments. I heard the comments. Fire in Calico. Where you there? How come I don't see them? Like you hide. This is suspicious. Do you want him to lead or don't you want him to lead? It's the same way, you know. You voted NDP with Godwin Friday as leader of the party into office, but you expect leadership from Ralph. You expect Labour to still lead. You know what I say now? Oh, we have a country to build. Let's hold hands together and move forward and build our country. Hold on. It's only in 2026 we have a country to build and we need to move forward together. From the 2025 and 2024 and 2023 and 22 and 21 and 20, where all you guys did was pull down. I just forget, boy. I just forget. So you want togetherness on your terms. You want patriotism on your terms. You want kumbaya on your terms. Nah, man. Can't work so. And the truth is, here's the hypocrisy. Dr. Gonzalez went down to Kittels, offered some suggestions. You remember the comments? Remember Kenlin? Oh, then I want a suggestion. During the budget, in the response, the leader of the opposition responded, offering suggestions, making some things. You didn't vote Labour, I voted NDP. But you want us to work together. Explain that now. So I can't suggest, I can't talk. What does working together look like? Me shut up while you work. Me staying silent while you do whatever you want to do. Is that what working together looks like in the lopsided world of the NDP and its supporters? I agree. that whatever happens to the ship affects all of us. And so we all have an interest to see that things go well. Somebody asked Luke on one of the guys asked on NDP 97.1 asked Luke last week, are you rooting for the government? Luke responded, he's rooting for the ULP. That is why we are where we are. But I'll be here until about 9 o'clock. This morning, the leader of the opposition comes in at 10. I don't know 10. I don't know where the leader of the opposition get a tune from that he uses. Me listen to tune. I mean, I've experienced many times he comes into the studio and when he start to call tune and so on, even Bling stomped. So I know regarding his knowledge of music, but that one day boy, I don't even know if it's local, regional, or international, but that's a kind of tune. You never walk alone. You never walk alone. So the comrade comes in at 10, and I'm really excited about the level of viewership and excitement that our comrades are showing towards information coming out of the ULP. so that when I tune in, and the truth is, I'll be honest, I have not always been able to tune in because very often I am unavailable. I'm unavailable. So where I am sometimes I might just log onto Facebook and just check and I see the numbers and so on and say, yeah, man, things going good. And then what I do sometimes later on in the evening, I'm able to go back and look at some of it. You know, but I like the fact that our comrades are staying home. So this morning at 10 o'clock, the good comrade comes in. I had to come and spend a few minutes with Bling this morning. It's been a while, you know. And I'm not promising anybody that I'll be able to do this regularly because, as you know, certain career changes have been made and so the requirements are a little different. I am this week I'm working on certain things, so that is why I've been able to do this morning, and I'm really excited to do this, to be here and to share with the comrades. Again, let me say, Blink coming back just now, and I'll when he comes back, we open the lines for those of you who might want to just say something, and that might go until about quarter past, right? About quarter past, because I came in about 8 o'clock. Blink is back, right? So we can go straight to the lines and comrades could call. And let me tell you what I want comrades to do. What I want comrades to do is just reiterate their commitment. Let me show that labor strong. Let me show that labor strong. People are saying, just yesterday, somebody was asking about Miss Murphy. They haven't heard Miss Murphy for a while. And there was another comrade they were asking about, boy. Can't remember the comrade. But so, and this person is someone who lives overseas, and they're accustomed to listen to Star Radio, and they're saying, I haven't heard this person, I haven't heard that person, and so on, you know. But I know we're there. I know we're there. I know we never went and hid. I know we never, many individuals, yes, they meet me, they'll be, oh boy, send boy a ball, I cry, this or that. But I know we're there and we're standing strong. And I'm here to let you know. Well, I mean, you know that because it's in the present place and so on, all over the place. So I there and I standing strong and I fighting back. I pushing back. St. Vincent is all of your own. And all of us have an interest in ensuring that St. Vincent is properly run. And nobody will shut me up. So we're going to the lines. So which numbers them be? The start landline, okay? Or just the WhatsApp? Landline. So you know what the landline be? 451-7827. That's the landline. 451-7827 is the landline to call if you want to just interact this morning for a couple of minutes. And over the WhatsApp 534. Wait, just like a new WhatsApp number.
534-7827.
Still 534? Yeah. Me sure, boy, like anyhow. Because I'm sure I was listening and somebody calling a different WhatsApp a couple of on one the afternoon program. I think it's all is you. I think it's all. All right, so
Kim say morning.
Yeah. Me don't shout out Kim. I don't know if Bristol heard me out there and all the comrades, wherever you are. I just gotta big you up. Comrades down in Bottle and Glass or wherever, just picking you up, saying good morning and letting you know that it's really such a pleasure to be here this morning. But yeah, we have to show that we still are strong. Somebody said to me, Sehon, it's 27,000 of us, Don't look up a number, Not 2,700, not 27,000. There's a strong labor army out there, and they are as interested in the running of the country as anybody else. And we have a say in that running the country. And we ain't going to make nobody shut we up. We ain't making nobody intimidate we and make we feel that we can't talk. Because they had their voice in criticizing our party when it was in government. We have our voice. And no one can stop we. So the number is 451-7827. Just give us a call and we interact a little bit there. Seems like you a call?
Yeah. It's only ringing.
It's only ringing, so like that you're done. I saw something in but I'm going to address that this evening, today, later on Present Please. Those of you who don't know what that be, like on our rap, go to YouTube, go to Facebook, Sehon Marshall account. Well, I know Blink plays it on Star, so y'all know exactly what it be. So I'm going to address that on Present Please. It was interesting to see the ceremony at the obelisk on Saturday, March 14th, National Heroes Day, and the way the members of the government were all there proudly, listen, oh my Lord. Ralph, do that. You know that tune there? We ain't saying remember now. What they send me the weddings is Ralph, do that. Who build the airport out at Argyle? Ralph, do that. Support Ralph. We know Ralph do that. We don't know Ralph do that. National Heroes Day, March 14th. Ralph, do that. They could try to rewrite history all they want. We will continue to celebrate what Labor Day. Just last night, I was having a serious conversation with some comrades, and a particular comrade who, get this now, said to me, I voted NDP last time. And the person said to me, listen, people did not, the NDP dare not think that people voted out Labour because Labour didn't perform and Labour didn't do well. Because Labour performed and Labour did well. And that's the frustrating thing. And when I hear people who tell me I voted NDP because, man, I think it was time for change. But on the in the next breath, they tell me, this is no joke, that Labour did well. Labour performed. So you go and vote for change just because in the face of, anyway. So that is something that the NDP will have to come to grips with, because across this country, the platform has been laid by the Unity Labour Party, and it is just there for them to continue to build on it. But you see, criticizing it all along is not how you prepare for government. And so, having criticized it, having not supported it in some instances, supported certain things in other instances, they now face with the challenge of managing something that they didn't support, that they criticize, and so on. And they don't know what to do. And that's the tragedy. That is the tragedy. But even as we criticize the government where we need to hold them to account, we also know that this country belongs to all of us. All of us. Apparently something wrong with the line, because me see bring a smile and take call and then me no call. I don't understand. Yeah.
Guess what?
I listen, you know.
Move the.
Hey.
You say, guess what happened? The WhatsApp phone is we are using there. So the WhatsApp calls coming in there. And when I say coming in there, they are coming in. Because I could detect from here, seeing the missed calls.
Boy. So those of you who are calling on the WhatsApp phone, hello, blink take your WhatsApp phone and I use them for the live. See, unfortunately, you can't say it. So call the landline if you can. 451-7827.
Or send a message.
Right? Or send a message on the WhatsApp. So you can read the WhatsApp on the computer. Right? Send a message or call the landline. Yeah? All right, so it's coming close to 9 o'clock. If our comrades aren't going to call, I'll end at 9. If you do call, then we could probably go for a few more minutes after 9. You know, but if you're not going to call, then I might as well just end it at 9 o'clock. So it's 451-7827. And that's your number to call to get interact. But you know the number, of course, here on the Star.
One person is saying, hey, good morning. Do you really think NDP wanted to win? They was hoping that people didn't believe them, so they could be in the opposition.
I think the NDP wasn't interested in governance. This is my take on it, and I may be wrong, but the NDP was not interested in governing. They were interested and remain interested in power. They are more concerned about the trappings of power, what they consider to be the trappings of power as ministers, as the cabinet, than they are interested in governing. And you could see that. That is why, for example, in my view, the Minister of National Security spends more time trying to show up the Prime Minister than actually working. Too often, his utterances cause more insecurity and alarm and fear than anything else. Of course, when you come, for example, and you talk about $500 million worth of cocaine washing up on a bayside somewhere, I mean, you're scaring people, and then you tell them, you making the point that, oh, when you have them kind of cocaine bust day, them thing, you just see violence afterwards. You're scaring people. You're the Minister of National Security, but those comments to me drive insecurity more than anything else. Fair. But that's the minister that we have. And you see that coming out of the statements that they make. Bramble, for example, like what does he say? I saw my good partner Danny Collins making the point that he's the standout minister. I'm not sure based on what, but he said Bramble to him is the standout minister. Other people have other comments as to who their favorite minister is under the NDP. I, I don't know, because as I said, I have grown accustomed to ministers who are competent, serious, know what they're doing, hit the ground running. I'm still looking. I'm still looking. I mean, when you talk about what Camilo did as Minister of Finance, you really can't compare that to Godwin Friday or what Ralph Gonsalves did before as Minister of Finance. When you talk about Louis Straker or Douglas Slater or Camilo as Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kisal Peters, I mean, you can't compare what we have now. When you talk about Julian Francis as Minister of Works, you can't compare what we have now. You talk even young Minister Bruce as Minister of Housing. You know what I mean? You saw effectiveness in implementation. You saw ministers who knew what they were doing and were hitting the ground running with implementation. What is happening now is really a far cry from that. Far cry from that. So I'm sorry, I can't pick out a standout minister because in my view, none of them is standing out. In my view. In my view. I heard the phone ringing, but bling is I don't know.
One person is saying, well, Minister Bill said he initiated it through a former PM Mitchell, who called him and said he was going to make March the 4th Heroes Day by spreading false information. And the information is there for we as the people to be research and get the facts.
Bruce said that?
That's what they do.
Well, I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him. I think Bruce need to try and figure out how we go and get the cameras them and people going to see the tree in the farm to prevent parade last night because
a heavy price for not listening. They will pay a heavy price for not listening. And it's only been what, 4 months now? They think they see anything? You think they see anything yet? It's coming.
which is why here's my fear. Here's my fear. We already have a deficit budget of $105 million. So that's $105 million that they're supposed to spend that they know it coming from just yet, right? Add to that the possibility of difficult times as a result of the situation in the Gulf, where the government is going to have to step in and address matters locally, have to, whether it's by a supplementary budget or whatever, and find money. You think in all of that, they go and study?
Well,
Okay,
that is one of the things I'm waiting to see.
okay,
That is what I am patiently waiting on seeing.
okay.
Those persons who every year would have to apply for the
Yeah,
money to
yeah,
do
yeah.
the courses, right? But we would see what happens.
We would see what happens.
Anyway, maybe somebody else might want to come in.
All right.
For the longest while we can't get in. So you have a good day.
Thank you very much, my comrade. Good to hear you.
One of the things that we still have to continue to do is to pray that they do well because
Yes.
this country belongs to
All of us, absolutely, absolutely. All right, comrade. Good to hear you. All right, and that is true, Bling. I mean, despite how we may feel and the fact that it's not our party in office, we still have to wish the best because all are we in the same boat.
All are we?
And if anything happens, we would all be impacted, maybe in varying degrees, yes, but we'll be all be impacted by what happened in the boat. Yeah, caller.
Go ahead.
Caller, good morning.
because this country
Caller, good
belongs to
morning.
all of us. Okay?
Caller, stop listening to your laptop and listen now. I'm Monica now.
Sehon Marshall.
Monica, how are you? Monica Maloney, what's up?
Sehon,
I got to hear you.
Mr.
I
Bliss,
just,
we can't get in no
I
call.
just, which time me just tell him me call your name. How you do?
Yeah, me alright.
Okay.
Sometimes me can't get in, sometimes me they won't thing in number me can't get in. Well, this man there for station because me want to know that those is black up our station from me no so none of we not go on their station go black up.
For what?
But them when they still have black our station that we
For what?
can't call it. But tell them somehow or the other we go listen on the radio people talk and tell you we are one, but they can't stop you from calling.
But
Yeah, man, we
the,
are one man.
no, but the truth is, if nobody calls, while I like the interaction and I look forward to the engagement, if nobody calls, it gives you more time to talk and explain, and you know me could
Of
talk.
course.
Okay.
Yeah. What time to
Okay.
talk and what time to say what you have to say.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
people call and they get that right then you see, well then go on man. We not see nothing yet enough.
Let it go
You
on.
only just
Let it
start.
go on. Let it go on.
The smoke night has come. It smoke
Let
night
it go
and
on.
the smoke continue to come and then go on.
Let it go
Yeah.
on. All right,
Yes
comrade.
man. We still there and
Wonderful. Good to hear
have to
you.
pray. Yeah, me them and me always me Sehon Marshall, I could never ever vote for NDP and the life and the naked we I can't. Those people had who much people then don't know think so me go vote for government to put why not poverty and no man, me not think me got that crazy thing. Never ever and I could never vote it and until I already try to me go crazy I have to time me down.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm my good at market. Okay, then you have a good
No problem.
right.
Good to hear you.
Yeah, it's okay then.
All right, comrade. You know, one of the discussions, Bling, that they were having, and I heard NDP 97.1 was making that point about the listenership of Star.
Yeah.
I know Star listenership.
Yeah.
They could fight up themselves about whether people listen to Star or not, and what the polls say, and who are 4% and 1% and whatever. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
How are you?
I saw you drive from Barracks stomach to get this unit this morning. That was great thing. I saw you make that journey. You see how you committed, boy?
I tell you, all you barracks Silalo, all you barracks Silalo. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
But see, a
Yes.
couple of things though. The concept of a modern society for citizens. I
Right.
think it got lost among the masses, the average man in citizens, right?
Right.
You know, but that is as it is, right? The thing is though that what is happening now is that we are waiting for VAT to be reduced
Yes.
from
Yes.
16
To
to
13%.
13%.
Yes.
From
Yes.
16 to 13%.
Yes.
So we are looking for the 3% reduction and we are holding your feet to the fire for that.
Absolutely.
That is on the card. That is a commitment that you make. You have a contract with us. We are going to hold your feet to the fire and that. I want to see how you're going to get out of that.
But what I find, like I said earlier, what I find interesting is that the NDP is celebrating things remain the same. That's something to celebrate.
We know that.
So imagine you send your picnic to school and your picnic junior 4 and you come and tell you, well, daddy, like guess what? I ain't got a junior 5 now. I still a junior 4. Let me celebrate. Boy. No new class, same class. Let me celebrate. Boy, I tell you.
But see, on another note, though, you know something that is bothering me about some intelligent people in Sylvester. As you say, sometimes you think people are really intelligent, and when you really check it, it is not so. You know.
Right.
A lot of people who I am speaking to who support the NDP in the last election, they say, but when you want to take Friday to court now, why not before? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I tell one of them, I say, but here what now? If a man is a criminal before, I never get caught. And you catch him now. You're saying that we shouldn't deal with that.
Right.
So you may commit a crime for
and you never report it. And you get vexed one day and say, well, if you ain't going to report it one day. And that is for dishonest, because wrong is wrong. If something is wrong, it is wrong, and we must call it out for what it is. The people knew that they were doing something wrong, but they were callous about it. They had no regard for the laws of St. Vincent. They had no regard for the people of St. Vincent. They know that they were doing something wrong. And now you have intelligent people telling you, oh, they only doing it because the people that in government now. You know what I mean? The thing with that is that the people, you will be set before the results were announced. During the election campaign, they were going to take these people to court. Nobody knew who was going to win the election, so you can't come now and say that you're only doing it now because the man is prime minister and you don't want him to be prime minister. You understand what I'm saying? Those kinds of arguments are so shallow and disappointing, you know. But it's good to hear your voice on the radio. Let me leave it for somebody else to
All right, buddy. Have a good one. Thank you so much for calling.
take care, man.
All right, man. Well, on that matter, and people questioning why now, that has been spoken about. There was the decision in St. Kitts that offered clarity and gave direction to where the case could go. It's as simple as that. Simple as that.
Take up.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Marshall.
Good morning.
I totally don't agree with Sister Moore. You see the part where she said that let's keep them on their toes for the young people and the scholarship.
Yes.
I give you an experience. I had two that close to me,
Right.
not my relative or anything. And they got an opportunity with the scholarship. They're supposed to go up this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke to them about hosting and encouraging them. And they made me to know plan mostly voting for the USD government.
Okay.
And I spoke to them at length about the scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't pay any attention. Neither did the parents. So why should we now be pressuring the government to do something for people who choose to vote for them, even though they got money? If they having children and allowing them to do what they want to do, and when they have to stand the consequences of the action, you have to go down and help them. They never learn because they never learn to accept responsibility for what they have done.
Mm-hmm.
So, why should we be pressuring the present government to do things for people who got what they wanted? Sometimes, you know, Mr. Marshall, we have to let people feel the pressure of the action.
Yes.
It's all
I
about
hear
the
you.
country,
I hear you.
and we love to see our country go well. We will. Nobody wants to see the country go down. But the people said they wanted a change of government. All of us that feel the pressure, all we have to keep on doing is pray that God will give them wisdom, because I already seen it.
I hear you.
So,
I hear you.
as much as we love our country, we want our country, you know what we behaving like? The children of
Israel. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they wanted a king.
Yes.
And when God took them out to take them to the promised land, don't care what he did, they still grumbled. So, are we surprised?
We shouldn't be, right?
No.
We should not
I
be.
don't think so.
We should not be.
And my representative, this one, have a good relationship. Me and Luke get along very well. But when this one come to me, I had wisdom. I asked questions, and when I couldn't get answer, I know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's okay well for us to jump up and say, pressure the government. But this is what the people are so sad that everybody, when I step over,
Yeah, rain doesn't fall on my house, you believe you.
If on everybody
All
else
right,
roof.
everybody
Yes,
got
yes.
so we just have to pray. Yes, I said hold them accountability, but we accountable, but our attention is to pressure to make sure things happen. Because that is what you want. You have a blessed and a wonderful day.
All right, thank you very much. And I hear that. I hear that aspect as well. That point of view. That listen, that's what they voted for, and so I have no call in intervening on their behalf, in on their government because, well, let me not say their government, but the party that they voted for because it's our government. If they chose to elect that government, that party into office, and now they're suffering because what they voted for is not getting, then you know. Final call. Caller, good morning. Final call.
Are you fucking mother, but you fucking stupid mother, the mother.
Oh my lord! Like I said, people are stupid. That's a
Wait,
perfect.
hold on, this Sian. Let me
Write the number down,
hold on, Sian. Hold on for me, please. I do
and we have to
apologize. I
apologize for
do
that.
apologize
Yes, we
for
have to
that.
apologize for that.
Um,
We have to apologize for that.
I have the number. I have the number. Let me.
Write it down.
It's 527-9087. That is the number. I
Okay.
call it live on air.
Yeah, 527
527
90
90
87.
87.
We're making the report
That
as well because that's
is,
recorded.
and we have the recording as
So we have
well.
the recording, so we going to report
Yes,
that. All right,
yes.
527. Now write it down quickly.
I don't have to write it down quickly. It's
yeah.
already logged.
Okay, it's loud.
So,
All right.
so we have
All
we
right.
have the number.
All right.
All right.
Could you imagine somebody so triggered, bling? Listen to the anger. Listen to the anger. Wow. Wow. We apologize, listeners. I know
We really apologize. Really apologize.
everybody who's listening, especially children who were listening and were exposed to that barrage of profanity, we apologize. We really do apologize.
And I took the call because the number showed up.
So you didn't expect someone to be that
Exactly,
brazen.
Exactly. And
Their government in power.
I was going through all my numbers and I realized that I didn't have the number. So I said, okay, probably, so I do apologize for that because normally those calls don't get through when I'm on air. So really.
Wow. Bling.
I do apologize for that on behalf of myself.
So that
Sehon
is
Marshall, and
about
Star
what?
Radio.
That's about 80 hour 20 minutes, hour 19 minutes in, so you could cut that out so you could get that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bring the program to an end there. So
Yeah, let's bring the program to an end there, and let me thank you guys. So really, Blake, no, take one more call. I can't end another someone out there. I really don't want to end another someone
they
out
start
there.
blocking the phone lines.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. It's my fault. Boy, you see, I should have stopped home,
It's not your fault.
I should have stopped home.
It's something that they.
I should have stopped home. I should have stopped home. But anyhow, no problem. Comrades, let me thank you so much. It's really someone that I'm leaving dejected because that is the last call. I was having such a really good morning. Hearing the comrades, Sister Murphy and Monica and all the other callers really gave me a good spirit, a good vibe this morning. And to hear that, I really didn't expect that. And it just really cast a shadow on my spirit, on my mood for the rest of the morning, but hopefully that improves. All right, so let me thank you guys for tuning in and for Bling for having me, for engaging with me, comrades. Really appreciate it always. I look forward to that. And until the next time I'm able to step in, let me wish you guys a fantastic week.
But I see
forward.
I see some calls coming in. What do you suggest that we do, my brother?
What do you mean?
Some other calls coming in.
If it's a good call, I wouldn't mind a good call to kind of give me one last call to give me a good because I was in a really good vibe. I was in a good spirit. I was in a good game.
Okay,
And then this man just come on.
So they start to take over the
Play the tune. Play the let me end the live and play the full blown. Let me get in a good spirit this morning because I really I happy. I happy. No, I happy. But hey, until next time.
You're in a good spirit, man.
Yeah, let me get the full blown.
Yes.
Later, comrades, have a good one. And don't forget, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, log in for the comrade at 10. Good morning, comrade. All right.
God was a friend, and we like that. Coming on my life like